Hi, and welcome back to The Simple Creative. I'm your host, Oladimeji Ajegbile, and this podcast is for those trying to start up something from nothing. Today, I'm talking to Nana Kwesi Obeng Jnr., also known as Brand Guy Mikey on Instagram. He's the CEO of Piramid, a brand and visual communication agency based in Accra, Ghana. He's also a podcaster, photographer, and videographer. This conversation covers branding for creatives, the idea of a balanced career, and what it takes to stand out from the crowd.
If you are just from school, like you just left school, you're a graduate, and then you want to go into entrepreneurship, right? Branding is something that you need to propel your ideas to the next level. And especially when you are from a business school, because I went to a business school, especially when you are from a business school, you might have a brilliant idea, right? But you wouldn't have the creative skill to back your idea, to push your idea to the next level.
If you're new to this podcast, I welcome you specially, and I really hope that you enjoy this episode. So let's get to the podcast. I think a couple of months ago, we mentioned, we talked about collaborating on something sometime soon. And It's interesting that this is happening right now. So thank you so much for honoring the invite. To just get familiar with the audience, can you just introduce yourself? What do you do? Who are you basically?
Thank you so much, Dimeji. I believe that, like you rightly mentioned, it's been a long time coming. Well, my name is Nana Kwesi Obeng Jnr. Noted on Instagram as the Brand Guy Mikey, and I'm a brand identity designer in Ghana, specifically Accra. And then I'm also a podcast host, the Pyramid Creative podcast, which is set to help young creative entrepreneurs like ourselves to bring their vision into motion. And also I'm a videographer, so sometimes as a hobby
Okay.
I do a little bit of shooting, photography, and basically so that's a little brief about me.
Wow, that's amazing. So that means you are quite a multifaceted creative with a couple of things you're doing at the same time.
yeah
All right. So how is it? How do you try to balance all these things? Because if you do brand and identity, you do photography, videography, and podcasting also, how do you balance all these things put together? Because I can tell you that I know it's quite tasking, but how do you do it?
Well, I believe that they are all linked together, right? So first of all, let me take podcasting like we're doing now. To be able to have like a fluid podcast, right, or a video podcast, right, you need your first your sonic branding, that's your audio. First of all, then secondly, you need your video branding, that's like we're capturing right now. You need to know more about scripting the whole podcast, designing your banners, designing your cover arts and all that. So if you know a bit about photography and you know a bit of videography, putting them together when it comes to podcasting, it actually makes it rather easier than should I say it being like a handful.
Okay.
It makes it easier because if you want to go into podcasting and you have no knowledge about, let's say, videography, right? You need a videographer.
That's
and
true.
You would have to pay this person to do this job for you.
Okay.
But if it saves you money, it saves you time, because now we are all social distancing. You're not going to look for somebody to bring to your house to help you film. So it saves you money and it saves you time, and it helps you understand frame rate, aperture, field of view and all that. So I think that instead of being glued to one specific area like podcasting, if you spread your wings a bit and then try to learn other areas as well, it helps speed up the process. It takes you further than you would if you had just one knowledge in one aspect or in one area.
Oh, that's amazing.
I balance everything seamlessly.
That's interesting, because most people today, most creatives, we find ourselves in this position where we have so many things to do, but then we can't even tell which one is meant to be the spotlight. For example, for you, I think you do more of, branding and identity as some sort of spotlight, but at the same time, there is the part where you introduce all the other things you've learned: videography, filmmaking, being a podcaster. So it kind of, creates some sort of synergy between all these things put together. Wow, that's quite interesting. I'm familiar that you are the CEO of Pyramid Groups, right?
Yes, Pyramid. So I am the co-founder, CEO and co-founder of Pyramid because there are other founders in the future.
Okay.
But currently, I am the only, I'm the creative director at Pyramid, and what Pyramid seeks to do is to help, graduate entrepreneurs. So the issue is that in Ghana here specifically, if you are just from school, like you just left school, you're a graduate, and then you want to go into entrepreneurship, right? Branding is something that you need to propel your ideas to the next level.
Okay.
And especially when you are from a business school, because I went to a business school, especially when you are from a business school, you might have a brilliant idea, right? But you wouldn't have the creative skill to back your idea, to push your idea to the next level.
Okay.
So when it comes to like branding, a lot of young entrepreneurs find issues pushing their ideas, making it, giving it like a voice, giving it a picture, in the minds of the customers. So Pyramid is set out to help these young graduate entrepreneurs bring their ideas, into fruition, bring their ideas into motion. And the problem that they had was that these agencies who are branding agencies charge, exorbitant fees.
Okay.
If you're just from school, you even funding is a problem. So how much money are you going to invest into branding for you to actually, start your business? But what Pyramid seeks to do is to charge the lowest fees on the market. So one of our touch points is to charge the lowest fees on the market no matter what, and to offer the best value no matter what.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that is what Pyramid is about.
Wow, that's amazing. There's this thing with African startups or establishments. It's quite difficult for us to really pick that or lay hold of that that thing that can really push us or keep us going, because everybody is all about the money. Everybody's all about, oh, how quick can we get these things done? But nobody really wants to invest in the value aspect. And to be honest, most times value doesn't have to be in money. So I think I really appreciate and I love what you guys do at Pyramid, because it gives a lot of starting organizations or startups the opportunity to still thrive, even with a very reasonable budget. Well, when did Pyramid start?
So Pyramid started later in 2017, where myself, I graduated from the University of Professional Studies with an accounting major.
Okay.
So when I came out, I was having a business idea that I wanted to start. So I realized that in as much as I had a brilliant idea, branding was an issue for especially businesses like mine. And I had a skill, I had a passion for branding, I had a passion for designing, advertising, marketing, even way back in school. So I was like, okay, let me help myself, use myself as a test subject, and then help other young graduate entrepreneurs. So Pyramid is a startup for startups.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because it's just 3 years old. So Pyramid is basically the tech subject for helping other people or other young creative entrepreneurs also thrive as well. So if you're in tech, if you are in agriculture, if you are in fashion, and you want a startup who understands your struggle, who understands what it means to start something from nothing, then Pyramid is a partner that you would like to look into, because when it comes to the branding aspect, Pyramid focuses on startups, and especially those who are struggling, to actually move their ideas from the corners of their notebooks.
Again,
to the,
so it kind of serves as some sort of accelerator for other brands, but at the same time, still growing in the process. And, this is one thing we really find in this part of the world, especially in Africa. Everybody is probably operating this sort of monopoly or dictatorship kind of, establishment where nobody wants to help the next person, and we rarely understand that we help as in we rise by lifting the next person. You know, it doesn't have to be all about you every time. And I think Africa needs to start to really prioritize more of, I wouldn't really say community service or CSR responsibilities, but we should try to go for more of collaborations, like genuine collaborations, not all the Instagram collaborations we see all around, like actual collaborations that can go beyond the market space to really, you know, create a solid ground for the entire continent, because the future of Africa is very bright. And if we don't start to really take note of those things now, it will cause a lot of issues. You mentioned that you graduated in the honors of accounting. How did you transition into into design, branding, and everything? What really pushed you to get there? Because I have a lot of friends who have studied, you know, economics, engineering, but today they are probably like, you know, web designers or, you know, full-time YouTubers. What really propelled you to want to still push further and at the same time finish your degree and still move into this creative space?
Right. So sometimes when you are young, right after high school, you want to go into the university, right? One thing that is very important for you to note is career choice or career direction. When I entered the university, right, I was good in math. I was good in, basically figures. I was good with figures. So I thought that, once I'm good with figures, let me pursue accounting because it would help me. But the question was I passionate about accounting? Is accounting something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life?
Wow.
Even though we are getting the good grades, we are good because I was course rep for 4 years from first year to last year.
Wow, that's impressive.
If we are getting good grades, we are doing well in the course we are reading, the question is it what you're passionate about? Is it what you want to do for the rest of your life? Sometimes we fail to ask ourselves that question, and you get to a point where you feel that no, this is exactly not what I want to do, even though I know I'm good at it, right? So you begin searching yourself, and then you discover something that is hidden in the corners of your heart, and when you're able to do that and bring that innate potential out, you notice that it just flows through you. It becomes easy. You do it better than those who have actually gone to school to acquire knowledge, of it. So I think that I discovered myself when I was in, so I did a little bit of politics. So I was elected as the public relations officer for the accounting department.
All right.
So when I did that, one of my duties was to actually write newsletters, coordinate posters, flyers, hype events, and stuff like that. So I realized that the department was paying other people to do it.
Oh, so they're outsourcing it to others.
And I was sitting in the corners of my cubicle just thinking, I'm good at this. Like I have a laptop, I can design. I just designed for fun, but I thought that, I could actually translate this into something that is marketable. So that is exactly what I did. So I decided to start, doing it on campus. So I was designing every campaign flyer on campus. I was designing every newsletter on campus. I was designing almost every magazine. I was designing so many things. So that is how come I realized that, okay, I can balance the two. And I've been reading about it, when I was in school. I realized that most designers had creative skills, good creative skills, but lacked the business of design.
That's important.
So I was like, nah, I have to combine both. I don't have to, sacrifice one for the other. Even though I'm reading accounting, I have to be the best in whatever I'm doing in accounting and also be the best creatively. So I decided to combine both and then come up with an agency that is also, creative and understands the business of design. So I graduated with an honors in accounting, but also I developed my passion for creativity and branding, and that is what has got me here.
So the conversation continues, and if you'd like to listen to the full conversation on any of your preferred podcast apps, The links are available in the description below. Also, if you'd like to find out more about today's guests, about their works and about their life, you can also find the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, that would be really amazing. That would really help me. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you next Wednesday.